Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, from board the Super Dreadnought, the Serenity Dream. Looking through the forums as well as the multiple posts, particularly on the Steam webpage, I noticed that a lot of people are disappointed with the net number of flyable ships available within the X4 universe. And actually, I have to agree with them. There's a fairly small number of ships available, and their variety is not very inspiring. In particular, I found that the amount of the capital ships available is very small, and the difference between them is also minimal. They have maybe different flavored primary turrets for the destroyers, and you have only a single destroyer available per faction. For the carriers, which are the super capital ships, you only have essentially a carrier available, and that's it. And the carriers are not particularly powerful. So, what I thought, it would be great to have maybe a number of additional ships added to the game through the mods. So today I'll be showing you a number of the mods I have installed on my game, including the various mods that modify the gameplay itself, but none of the mods that modify the AI. So without further ado, let's check out the type of the mods that I have and briefly discuss them. For this, I'll go to Escape and go to Extensions, and here you'll see the whole set of the mods that I have available. Now, most of these are actually the mods that add unique ships to the game, and they expand on the variability, and in some cases these are fairly powerful ships, so they add an enjoyment. If you wish to have a ship that is really powerful and well behaved, it's even a capital ship, for example, like a Serenity, which is, in my mind, a Super Dreadnought, or various other types, you'll find that these mods actually will extend the enjoyability of the game quite a bit. Now, one thing to notice, I actually do have a standard Split Vendetta enabled right here, and adds Split Faction together with their unique ships. And a number of the ships that you get from these AI entities are actually very nice. Even the vanilla version of the split ships are fairly enjoyable to fly. So I very much recommend getting the DLC. I actually enjoyed it a lot. So starting, we have a PainjobsGalore, and the paint jobs are the ones that obviously change the coloring of your ship. They're about I would say 16 to 20 different paint jobs available. I was a little bit disappointed with this particular add-on, since the paint on the ships looks a little bit washed out. So when you apply the paint job, the details of the ships are very much lost. I was very much hoping for a pure white and a pure white plus red paint job for the Argonian destroyer behemoth, but in the end it didn't seem to look that great. The better kill credit, in my mind, is a big step up in improving the life quality of a pilot in the X4 universe, and it allows you to get money or extra money from killing enemies in friendly sectors for more credits, but it actually doesn't seem to improve your standings with the set factions. Crew training courses I found to be really a necessity for the game in order to properly enjoy it. What this add-on does, it gives you the training seminars for piloting and management available at trade corner vendors at the stations. The thing is that this add-on will include 3- and 4-star training seminars, which allows you to actually buff and train your pilots by purchasing these books and applying them to your pilots without having to wait very long in-game time for your crew to level themselves. Without any mods, frankly, within 50 hours of the game time, I decided to start modding the game because I didn't see any progression whatsoever. The Crystal Rarities is another mod that simplifies visual identification of the crystals in the asteroid fields. I found this mod very useful if you don't really want to strain your eyes and well, essentially go blind trying to find the crystals in the asteroid fields. This is very useful. I do not really consider this to be a cheaty mode. The capital ship loot magnet, you can think that this is a cheating mode, but essentially what it does is for every minute your super capital sized ships, such as the carrier class, and the capital sized ships as the destroyers will capture a loot container or a drop available around them within the 200 kilometers radius. This allows your capital ships, super capital ships, to passively collect the loot available from the enemies they killed over the period of time. Again, you can consider this cheaty, but really it probably took a good 150 hours of the game time in order to be able to collect enough resources to fully mod a capital ship. So it did become extremely powerful, but again, 150 hours spent, I think that's not unfair. The Defense Skill Increase, or DFSI, in my mind is a less cheated version of the crew training skill courses. Since the base leveling speed of your skill is extremely slow, down to the point that within 50 hours I wasn't able to notice any progress, DFSI will allow you to level faster. I would say it takes 20 to 30 hours of active game time for your pilots to reach skill level 3 or 4, probably about 50 hours to acquire 5-star piloting. The same goes for the managers of the stations. Split Vendetta, obviously we've already talked about it, it's the DLC from Ubisoft. Leopard is a variation of the ship that looks like the Split's capital freighter, but in addition it has a number of offensive as well as defensive capabilities and very large cargo bay. It is extremely expensive, runs to about 70 million, but it's very resilient and probably can even kill a K one-on-one. So if you're looking for dangerous runs through the Xenon space, this is an interesting option to have. Again, considering the price tag and the time it will take to pay off, I actually don't even have this ship yet because I have other things to spend my money on. The Point Off is a really great modification to an available Osprey type ship from the Taladi. The Osprey, in my mind, is extremely weak. It's very useless. Love the look of it, and the author of the Point Off significantly buffed the Osprey version of the ship. It has multiple extra primary weapons as well as the turrets and hit points added to it. The price tag for the hull alone runs to about 20 to 25 million, so it's really expensive, but it's very powerful, it's very fun to fly. I would say this is considered as a somewhat cheaty version of the ship, but really was an improvement to the AI of the Xenon and their aggressiveness and their damage output. You probably will not be able to single-handedly handle a Xenon K-ship unless you, do a very specific setup with the heavy torpedoes. Serenity Dreadnought Carrier is a great ship. It is, in my mind, a super dreadnought which takes splits super capital carrier and expands on it and gives it primary weapons as well as a plethora of secondary turrets and offensive as well as defensive modules. It is slow, it is really powerful, and it feels like one of those Star Destroyers from the Star Wars. Stardust. Now, that is truly a cheaty ship. The price tag on this one is slightly over 100 million, so after 350 hours of gameplay, I was really able to acquire 3 of these. If you really wanted, you could actually go ahead and dominate the universe within a single, fully modded version of the Stardust. I have only one fully modded version of the Stardust, just because how much resources and game time it takes to acquire a high-end goods for the modding. I primarily use these as gate guards against the Xenon invasions while I'm focused on working on station building or figuring out the game or the new features of the game. Crafted mod components. By all means, I think this is a great quality of life improvement mod. And what it allows is to convert the lower tier of mod components that you find randomly from the loot into the higher tier mod components. Since I have a modded game and I have no option to use the multiplayer version of the, well, not the multiplayer, but the multiplayer application of the game where you can get a high-end mod components, I found that the crafting mod component conversion is very useful. It allows you to grind through the acquisition of the components rather than just sitting there and praying to the RNG gods to get the drop. A Viking is a great ship, which is, in my mind, a non-cheaty version, but simply an improved and modified Dragon Corvette of the split. It has a little bit more shields and it can carry more crew, so it's by no means an indestructible, just more enjoyable and fun to fly ship. Last but not least, and probably this should be at the very top, the most honorable mention is the XR ship pack that adds, imagine, 28 unique ships from the XR universe. The ships are great, they're rendered very well, it gives you a great variety of super capital as well as capital ships. They gives you utility ships such as super capital mining ships. You get several type of super capitals that are very powerful and very expensive, such as R1 mothership. And I generally found that the game is so much more varied and so much more enjoyable with the XR ship pack. The author of this pack asks you to have the X Reapers purchased as a support to the devs, which I think is not unreasonable. Frankly, I waited for the sales and I bought the X Reapers for $7.50 from Steam. So yeah, I went a little bit cheap on that, but frankly, I think I would gladly pay $7.50 for the XR ship pack if it was just a standalone ship pack from either Egosoft and or the author. So all of these mods are available from Steam Workshop if you have a Steam version of the game, and all the names of these mods are original. and you can just simply type them in and subscribe and enjoy your modified version of the game. I didn't find any sort of conflicts between these packs. Works well, no alterations to AI. Interesting thing is that sometimes the AI factions do build the added ships from the mods, but not too often, and only select of those which ones of those they build, and how often. I'll let you figure out on your own if you're interested in applying these mods to your game. So hopefully you found this video informative, and I hope that installing some or maybe all of these mods will significantly enhance your experience with the X4 universe. Have a great day!